माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, इंडियन स्काउट एंड गाइड फेलोशिप राष्ट्रीय मुख्यालय के तरफ से दिशा स्काउट्स के सहयोग से हम अब तक जी रंगाराव जी जो ब्रॉन्ज उल्फ रहे हैं, कला सीताराम फडनीस जो काफ़ी गाइडिंग में पहली हस्ती थी जो भारत से विश्व स्तर पे पहुंचने वाली, उनके बाद तीसरे व्यक्ति का एक वार्तालाप बातचीत आपके बीच लाने जा रहे हैं। और ये काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग इसलिए रहेगा, जो हस्ती जिसे आप मिलेंगे, जिनके बारे में आप सुनेंगे और जिनके ज़िंदगी में स्काउटिंग ऐसा है जैसे नमक के बिना अचार, हवा के बगैर जीवन, पानी के बगैर मछली, ऐसे इनके जीवन में स्काउटिंग इतना घुल चुका है। मैं इनके साथ काफ़ी लगभग 30 साल या उससे अधिक समय से जुड़ा हूँ। जब भी इनके ज़िंदगी में, चाहे वो बहुत कठिन वक्त हो या सर्वश्रेष्ठ वक्त हो, हर वक्त में जब भी इनसे मिला हूँ या देखा हूँ, कहीं ना कहीं इनमें, इनके चरित्र में, इनके बातचीत में, इनके सहन रहन में स्काउटिंग की झलक नज़र आती है। ये है हमारे जस्टिस कल्पेश सत्येंद्र झवेरी जी। चीफ जस्टिस रहे हैं ओडिशा के, जस्टिस रहे हैं राजस्थान और गुजरात हाई कोर्ट के, अहमदाबाद लीगल फ्रेटर्निटी में इनका अपना एक नाम है। मैं उनको तब से जानता हूं जब ये इनके फादर के साथ एज ए लॉयर प्रैक्टिस करते थे। और रही स्काउटिंग की बात, हम इन्हीं से सुनेंगे शुरू में। उसके बाद जहां ये कुछ छोड़ दें या चूक जाएं, वहां मैं कोशिश करूंगा उसको बातचीत आप तक पहुंचाने की। सर, वी आर वेरी हैप्पी दैट टुडे यू आर द प्रेसिडेंट इन चीफ ऑफ द इंडियन स्काउट एंड गाइड फेलोशिप. Indian Scout and Guide Fellowship is one of the most prominent national organization in the ISGF world in the world. So we have become very strong. We have become more strategically, technically sound Scout and Guide Fellowship country. In that aspect, you are leading today from past 7 years. You are a national president, now you are a president in chief. How you feel being a part of the ISGF, that is Indian Scout and Guide Fellowship, from the active scouting of the Bharat Scouts and Guides?
See, originally I was holding different posts at the state level and the national level. But
in Bharat Scouts and Guides?
Yes, in Bharat Scout and Guide, and after joining judiciary, this is the only institution where I could have joined the institution and contribute something for the betterment of scouting, which is part of my life. And I have said publicly many times that whatever in my life I have achieved is only because of scouting. And some of the basic principles regarding management and discipline in life is because of scouting. I joined scouting in 1968, President Scout in 1972. I was selected for the World Jamboree when only 8 people were selected. But because of the family financial condition, we have to choose for a factory of my brother or a World Jamboree. And naturally, family priority was given. I could not go. Then I have attended standard judging camp at Pachmadi. Then I become executive member in Gujarat State Bharat Scouts and Guide in 1981 from the category of the life member. Then continuously I was life member till I have become judge. 1990 to 1996 I was state secretary. During that time I think I have taken the Gujarat State Bharat Scout and Scouting to the next level. Almost every national integration camp, Gujarat was represented, and Gujarat has some say at the national level. Apart from that, personally, I was sent for 93 management course, 94 advanced management course, and then in 95 international management course. And the management course which I have attended has made a lot of difference. During my tenure as a secretary of the law library and then becoming a judge, the training which I have taken from the management course has made a lot of difference, because in scouting we have to think of future thing and we have to create trainers, scout masters and everything. Whereas in the court, we have a lot of pendency and we have only to organize the things and classify the things. And that management training has made my career as a judge. And because of that, I could work during the same period, disposal and work of a 5 judge by single-handed, and discipline all throughout my life. I have care for my family and personal discipline on the scouting, because of scouting, timing. Some people say that I am very fussy about time.
Can
but
I interfere, please?
Yes.
We are not stepping into the judicial now. We will have a separate slot. Can be a very short, but before that, the scouting. Who was the first person to inspire scouting in you? Can you remember any name?
Yes. In my school, scouting was there. And
Which school you studied?
yes, I was in Diwan Ballubhai Madhyamik Shala, Kankaria. And because of the teachers and the option which were given, I found that the scouting is the best. But the first person who was more responsible to take me to this level was my elder sister, Savita Ben. She was Assistant State Organizing Commissioner, and she has looked after me like a younger brother. And all throughout.
Means you are referring to Savita Ben
J.
Patel.
J. Patel.
J. Patel. Now she is a Savita Ben Pujara.
Pujara.
Right?
State Commissioner of Bharat Scout and Guide. First time I have gone for a flood camp where she was the in charge of the state and I was one of the volunteer. From that day, she was all throughout.
Was it in Navsari?
1970, Morbi. 1970. I was just 12 years. Thereafter, once I have gone on cycling from Ahmedabad to Baroda with my scout teacher, Jantibhai Patel and Vishnubhai Upadhyay. We have travelled 150 kilometers from Ahmedabad to Pavagadh in 24 hours. And that was my first experiment on cycle. And it was tough time. But we enjoyed from Ahmedabad to Pavagadh.
So Savita Ben was the first person who inspired you, who motivated you, who guided you to this. And I think she is the one person behind you to get the Rashtrapati Award, President Award.
Training, yes. Other person was Vishnubhai Upadhyay, who has prepared me for the President Scouts and World Jamboree.
Okay, now, as a young boy, when you achieved the Rashtrapati President Award those days, President Scout Award, what was your most interesting, enjoyable activity in scouting?
Two things which I have enjoyed all throughout is our mapping and cooking.
If you think you have done cooking, you continue cooking even today?
Sure.
In the morning. What is your favorite dish, what you can prepare?
Khichdi and kadhi.
Do you think khichdi and kadhi is very hard things to prepare?
No, absolutely no.
Anybody
it's very easy to do it.
Yeah.
And now to do anything harder is very difficult to do it.
As a Chief Justice, have you ever done khichdi and kadhi?
No.
Never tried it?
No. Nobody will allow me to do it at the Chief Justice bungalow or even at the residence.
Okay, that's interesting that you like cooking and you had a mapping. Can you just say one or two technical words of the mapping if you recollect? Because I know your memory is quite strong.
That maximum is even today when I travel anywhere, I have a fantastic memory only because of the mapping. Once I go to any place, I remember the sign, which is the sign which we have to remember while finding out anything. And even if I go after 10 years or 15 years, I can drive myself a car and reach to the destination.
Thank you so much. Now we have something like a young boy as a scout. When you become a life member and you stepped into the executive committee of Gujarat, you recollect the most strong, most eminent and most effective state chief commissioner of Bharat Scouts and Guides Gujarat?
I think I will name Jethabhai, because during that period,
Jethabhai
Chaudhary, during that time, I was the state secretary, and we have taken the scouting in the best period of the Gujarat State Bharat Scouts and
I
Guides.
stand witness because I was with you in Ahmedabad during that period. And if you recollect, after you, state secretary, have you seen anybody working in the same wavelength what you worked as a state secretary?
With due respect, that devotion and dedication I am not finding in the activity. Now the complete scenario in the scouting, I think, is missing. What we have been told and taught are not been found in the practical life.
Preaching and practices never go together. Okay. From the state secretary, I also know you worked very short time for the state commissioner.
Yes.
For Gujarat, right?
Yes.
You missed that when you are explaining the...
No, that was I tell you, turning point of my life to become successful lawyer was the scouting. I lost election in 1997, and then I concentrated on my profession. And what I was earning yearly, I started earning monthly. How somehow Jashbhai Patel, who was with me in the executive, became state chief commissioner, and he compelled me to become scout commissioner. I told him that I am been asked as a High Court judge. I will no longer be continue in the activity, but as a well-wisher, he has posted me as the, but I could not continue more than 1 year or year and a half.
Today, Justice Kalpesh is vice patron of the Bharat Scouts and Guides Gujarat as on date. The governor of the Bharat Scouts and Guides, governor of the Gujarat state is the patron of the Bharat Scouts and Guides Gujarat. So till today, he continues the active role in the Bharat Scouts and Guides Gujarat state. Kalpesh bhai, there is also, if I am right, you are the first person in the finance committee of the Bharat Scouts and Guides national headquarters who raised a question on the expenses and the budget of the national headquarters, if I am right. Can you narrate just a few lines of this?
See, my first experience was in the finance committee was for the basic salary of the staff, and they were not getting central government pay scale. And the then director, whom I was respecting a lot, but has tried to ignore me being considered as a junior. And I raised a point that there's a distinction between professional and the elected member. And my point was upheld by the National Chief Commissioner. And my points which I have raised in the Finance Committee were accepted by the Finance Committee. And ultimately, today, all staff of the national headquarters is getting central government pay scale. And the expenses, now it has been controlled because of those suggestions which I put in somewhere 1992-93. The another issue which I want to refer here is, subsequently after that incidents, the training which has been given by the director Rangarao, I respect him a lot. After that incident, he has also told me that it was not my intention, but subsequently he has cared me as a son. And whenever he has got a chance, I think he has tried to protect my interest and try to improve my ability to go to the best or optimum level. And that's how is one of the, in my opinion, one of the key pillar to Bharat Scout and Guide to get a recognition at the international level.
I agree with you. Bronze Wolf G. Rangarao ji, who is no more with us, was the first director of the Bharat Scouts and Guides who can work for the India to take it to the global level. Kalpesh bhai is right. Kalpesh bhai, when we talk about Rangarao, you always say you respect him and all. Your daughter shares a birthday with another leader of the Bharat Scouts and Guides. What is your opinion about that leader who is also no more with us?
Kala Didi. Ara, Ganatreji. I think Ganatreji was our trainer for the, when I've gone for the strategy camp. I think he was, if I say theoretical, none can beat Ganatreji. Rangara was practical and was dynamic. He was outspoken, where Ganatreji was introvert. He was never expressed his opinion, but fundamentally, I have not found anybody more sound than the Ganatreji on both principles and implementing that principle in true sense and not compromising on any issue. And he has, I mean, lived his life as a true scout.
You all should know that Vyoma, the daughter of Kalpesh Bhai, born on 7th November, the BSG day. It is a blessing in disguise. Father loves the Bharat Scouts and Guides so much, God blessed his daughter on the same day. So he remembers the BSING forever till he was with his daughter. I met Kalpesh Bhai and his family. Vyoma was around 3.5 years old in Pachmadi, and we spent a lot of times going around the trees, walking around the mountains, and especially the National Training Center. When we are going around, we pray that Mrs. Jhaveri, Reena Bhabi is not with us. May God bless her with a more dignified place in the heaven. In that concept, I always, whenever I used to meet Reena Bhabi, Mecci, scouting का बात करने आए हो मत आओ. That was her first talk whenever I meet her. मैं बोला भाभी जी आप इतना चिढ़ते क्यों हो स्काउटिंग से? स्काउटिंग तो आप अपने भाई को समझाओ ना, तो मुझे भी उतना ही वक्त दें. Mean Kalpesh Bhai, how was your life with Reena Bhabi? I'm not coming to the most tragic part of your life, because nothing should be hidden when you come to a certain status. What was your pros and cons with the Reena Bhabi to compare the scouting and the marriage life?
True. Scouting was always a second mistress. That's how my wife has always thought. But today, because of her that thought, today my daughter thinks that my son will definitely join scouting, because she has found that scouting discipline has put my father to this level. Therefore, she has made up her mind, whenever required to go any camping or anywhere, my grandson will be the first person will join. And he is also excited now, 7 years, to join scouting and go anywhere with the scout uniform.
Means, usually life experiences says, if somebody in the family does not like something, usually that comes back to the family in a better way. This is a
sure.
It's a life
yes, yes. And now today my daughter is feeling that I have not been trained properly. I should have gone to the scouting.
Anyhow, my another part is Reena Bhabi was, from my perspective of experience with Reena Bhabi, she was the most sophisticated, openly spoken, and well cultured from the Mumbai society, if I am right. That may be one of the reasons she was expecting you to be something more, more than the realistic, a dramatical, a film actor husband in you. Am I right?
No, there the difference was, my father was a professional, her father was a businessman, and businessmen can give much time. She had a family background where Friday, Saturday and Sunday husband and wife will go out irrespective of the guest or anything, whereas in our family, we were together. My father or mother has rarely has gone together, putting us at home. We have always gone together. And that cultural difference of joint family and nuclear family was there.
My dear friends, why I am talking about his personal life, Bhabiji and the sequences, I always appreciate Kalpesh Bhai. The reason is, however the consequences, the situations in the family or between the husband and wife or whatever the scenario may be, But when he comes to the scouting, he comes with a brimming smile. Nobody can say that he has so much of problems behind him left at the home. Especially more than 10 to 15 years, the life he passed through with Bhabiji proves that even though they had a difference of opinion, he stood as a dedicated, committed husband to his wife. We always salute you, Kalpesh Bhai, for that effort. It need not to be recorded on the camera, but we as the Indian Scout and Guide Fellowship family, I have taken many of our senior leaders to his family just to show, look at what Kalpesh Bhai is. Not to tell the stories, no. Just to say how the Kalpesh Bhai as a husband, as a father, and recently we had a foundation dinner, and when the international members went and see the reality scenario of the Kalpesh Bhai family, that makes a scout perfect. So that is how always I look at the Kalpesh Bhai. Anyhow, Kalpesh Bhai, right from there. Now your daughter Vyoma is a grown up, and now you are a grandfather. Now you just, before I ask, you said your grandson to be a scout and he likes to be a scout, and your daughter also wishes that. Was there any compulsion or force from your father or your mother not to do scouting?
No, no. On the contrary, when I was going for the election of State Chief Commissioner in 1996, my father told me that you are going in a public life where all evils will be together against you, since you are man with principle. And in everywhere in the election, if you don't share a post, nobody will vote for you. I have told very specifically, I will go on merits, and I lost by 10 or 15 votes. But that has changed my life. There also I thank scouting. I thank scouting that I become a leading lawyer in the Gujarat High Court. I was one of the top filing in the writ petition when I have become judge.
My dear friends, why I am talking once again about this? Because once I went to meet Kalpesh Bhai when he was a state secretary. It was in the evening 6:30. I went directly from the office. He was in his practicing office where his father was the main boss. At that time, he was assisting his father. We supposed to spend a lot of time on discussion. Within 20 minutes, his father sent in a knock. Come back. Means his father had a very disciplined control. I don't say it is in a bossism, but as a parent, he was also a well-disciplined person as I think. I think that also makes a very big impact on you.
Sure, my father always been there when you are doing profession, no other activity, then you should spare time on the holidays or any other time. But client should not wait for your extra activity.
Because I discontinued the meeting, we promised to meet on Saturday, I went out. That is the number one. Another thing, why I am talking about father, you all should know Kalpesh Bhai has something related to the Sabarmati, the ashram, Gandhi ashram. I just want to, more than anybody else, Kalpesh Bhai should explain how is family related to the freedom and the Gandhism.
My grandfather was close associate of Mahatma Gandhi and Sardar Patel. He has been referred by Mahatma Gandhi in the autobiography. Apart from that, the retro today what we are seeing is originally given idea by my grandfather. That has also been referred. And first meeting of Sardar Patel and Gandhiji in the Gujarat Club was done in the presence of my grandfather. And recently I have seen on one issue my grandfather was disagreement with the Sardar Patel, and by majority he got the resolution in the thinking of my grandfather. Therefore today I feel that I am 10% of my grandfather. If he has a courage to fight with the national leader who was president of the municipality, I think I have my own doubt whether I could have that courage to fight with the national leader who will be with me. That's how I have tried to maintain my family history, and I am trying to level best to return the society. What today I am, I must return it in any form, in any activity.
As a matter of records, can you just say the complete name of your grandfather and the page where his name is mentioned in the biography of Mahatma Gandhi?
Mahatma Gandhi has referred his name in the by autobiography when it has come in the opposition of a local law and where contempt proceedings was to be faced, which was faced by my grandfather.
Complete name?
Kalpesh Jhaveri.
Okay.
And reported decision is 2 Bombay Law Reporter, page 1.
Page 1, yeah, that's it. So you all should know that Kalpesh Bhai has some background to stand so strong in the society. I always say, if he would have gone to the politics, he would have not done so much what he is doing today being a scout. But as your grandfather raised a question against the national leader, you did a wonderful job. When I was listening, you had a very strong interaction with the then National Commissioner, late VP Deendayal Naidu, and also the Director G. Rangarao. Those days, my dear friends, I used to be very young. Maybe Kalpesh Bhai is 3 or 4 years senior to me, but still, we all stayed together in one mission scouting. If anybody does wrong, whether it is Rangarao ji or Naidu ji or whoever it is, we used to step on the opposite. How I am bringing it now? First, we together in 92 December, we were together in the basic management course. Then in 94, we were together in the advanced management course in Bangalore. Then in 95, we worked as a staff, resource persons, both of us together in the another international management course of the Asia Pacific Scouting. That time, Rangarao was an acting leader of the course, but KBC Nair was the course director. In some of the technical sessions, when we were discussing and planning, because I was more into the human relations, if you recollect, and Kalpesh Bhai was more into the financial and the management issues. So these are the various issues. Management has various kinds of approaches. When we are discussing, the course director has his own interpretation of the objective, but Kalpesh Bhai was bold enough to say, no, Mr. Nair, that is not the right.
That also I have learned from the scouting. Since 1981, when I was first elected in the state executive, I started with the interpretation of the rules, and the state management had found it difficult because for the first time, some young men coming at the age of 24, 25, showing them the rules, and they were compelled to follow the rules. And management was very strict, and that has been taught in our family. Okay, we can discuss everything on the dining table. Even if my father is wrong on the certain issue, we can discuss, but ultimately his decision was final. But that freedom on the dining table has given me courage to start with the state level and then the national level. Regarding this event, I think it was May 93, December 94, and then Bangalore was 95.
You're right. Bangalore was 95, 94 was Pachmadi.
Pachmadi, December.
In Delhi. Anyhow, why I am bringing this issue, Kalpesh Bhai was always open to say the black and white of the decision. He never in between the grey matter, he never is in the grey color. What I mean to say is, a white is clear truth, the black is complete lies. He never stood in between. When I met him as a High Court judge of the Gujarat, I was just traveling to Dadra Nagar Haveli. I was a member of the Human Rights Commission, National Human Rights Commission as a member. I was traveling to Dadra Nagar Haveli, Silvassa. I just gave a message to Kalpesh Bhai, will you be free in the evening? I am just having a half an hour time to spend with you. He said, yes, I will come down from the court and I will wait for you. We just met half an hour. He offered me, he likes coffee and second is ice creams. Always his fridge will be full of ice creams and his kitchen will be always brimming with the coffee. He likes it. When I went there, he gave first ice cream, we ate the ice cream, then we ended with the coffee. Within that, I just said hello to Rina Bhabi and we had a great time, but the best time is I made him to convince to join Indian Scout and Guide Fellowship. So it was in 2006, if I am right, when I was traveling to Dadra Nagar Haveli, because then he agreed. Then in 2009 you came to the Jamboree in Ahmedabad. Bangalore. 2010 in Bangalore. 2009 in Ahmedabad. 2010 we had a Asia Pacific Regional Summit where I was a coordinator officially doing, and Kalpesh Bhai was invited as a special guest. The another story started is Indian Scout and Guide Fellowship. He became a national president from 2009. What is your experience from in the Indian Scout and Guide Fellowship so far?
My experience in Bharat Scout and Guide Gujarat State and the national level, I think during this time as my president, we
In
have
Indian Scout and Guide
in
Fellowship.
Indian Scout and Guide Fellowship, we have tried to improve the management and the strength and strategic, which both of us, more Mickey, I am just a touch-up giver, has grown. And today I must with proud say that what we were when I was become president has grown multifold. And today we have a good financial condition than what we were in 2008. On a lighter note, whenever you put a baniya on any post, you will make your institution more richer because of the community nature.
So literally you are accepting you are also in a part of Baniya in your management. That makes the sense. See, I told you, he never stained the grey matter. He is whether black or a white. So he makes that Baniya is a financial management. We made it. That's a wonderful. Kalpesh bhai, the most one or two persons in Indian Scout and Guide Fellowship whom you respect as a fellows.
Naturally, I am biased for you, and the other, there are many. I tell you, with all, Khannaji was, whatever his nature, but he was one of the great contributors. And if you look at other vice presidents, Rathi Saab is a silent worker. Then if you look at other people at the grassroots, Vishnuji from Maharashtra. Yes. Some of the people, I mean, it's not that it's ultimately a teamwork. Again, I know Shimaji is also, I mean...
Another Baniya in the making.
Yes, yes. But one thing I tell you, the clarity which I have in my life is, whenever I have to spend for my personal pocket, I have never bothered. But whenever I am a trustee, I have not allowed a single pie to be spent without resolution.
I am coming to that part of now. So Indian Scout and Guide Fellowship is proud to have Justice Kalpesh as the 6 years as a national president and also president in chief. This is his 3rd year term. We wish he will continue with us as long as he is sparing time and available for us, because we should not become obstacles in somebody's life. That is the Indian Scout and Guide Fellowship thing. Kalpesh bhai, see, when you came to the Bangalore 2010, there was another chapter. You remember what is that? A new subject in India, a new chapter for
ATAS.
ATAS. Association of Top Achiever Scouts. Kalpesh bhai became the first founder president of the ATAS India. I spoke to him for more than 6 months just to pursue. You should as a High Court judge, taking a leave and coming to Bangalore and spending complete day with us, because there is so many ethical background as a rules that judges supposed to do this and not supposed to do that. Even though in that contest he made a bold decision to accept the president of ATAS India among 567 ATAS members from India, including 27 countries representation, under the leadership of the Vice Chairman of the World Scout Committee, Simon Hanbok-Ree, who handed the flag of ATAS India to Justice Kalpesh. What is your story so far till now as ATAS India?
I think ATAS top achievers, we are doing different activities. And I firmly believe that those who are achieved top in the life, like me, they should also return to the society. Like scouting activity, whatever they got from the scouting activity, they should return it in the in the form of time or the money or guidance, whichever way they want to do it. They should support the activity which can grow the society in the better way.
Thank you so much, Kalpesh bhai, about the ATAS India. I have a few points. It is an appreciation on the face of Kalpesh bhai. We took over ATAS India as a first president of the ATAS India when we had only around 91 members on our roll. But today, we have around 2,200 ATAS India members. We have a working committee. And the best part is we had around 8 national gatherings. Recent 2 gatherings we had a virtual, and all other national gatherings we didn't took a single pie from anybody as a contribution. We managed under the patronage of Kalpesh Bhai. What I mean to say is, Kalpesh Bhai is not a scout who believes in taking. That is the reason we gelled together. From 95, 96, if I am right, we stopped taking even a traveling allowances from the Bharat Scouts and Guides. Wherever we go, we may travel in any class, but we pay from our own pocket, if I am right, Kalpesh Bhai. So from that day to till date, we both stand in the same platform about the taking. We never take a single pie from anyone. Rather, we believe in giving, and Kalpesh Bhai is above that in patronage. Why? In 2015, there was another additional success story stored for the Kalpesh Bhai when myself and Satish Khanna, we decided in 2012 in Philippines, then 13 we met in Maldives, 14 we had something Malaysia, 15 once again back to India, Bangalore. When Kalpesh Bhai joined our ASPAC gathering, we said he is the right person for the chairman, the founder chairman of the ASPAC SGF Foundation. Your update on foundation, please.
Sure. That was, we were first gathering, 15th was in Bangalore, it was idea, but the first fund collection was in Maldives.
It is not a fund collection.
It was the starting point.
Starting.
But Ahmedabad, we have a good function on 14th of July 2014, or 16 or 17, 17. I was in Rajasthan, 17. And it was a grand success, and at least I was satisfied that the way in which we have managed the show, and we have collected a good amount. And ultimately, the foundation is, if flourish, will be good for the scouting in other state, where we can stood by our brotherhood in the hour of crisis, which is the need of the day.
We would like to say under our group, we could able to contribute a very good amount for the VAX, for the girl guiding program in India. That was our first contribution. I think from the next year, 2023, our foundation will be more workable, and it will be try to approve the project. Kalpesh Bhai is the chairman even today for the foundation. We are going to have a second fundraising dinner in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia in November 2022 in the coming year. I just like to share my one personal example. Then I have something to wind up with the brother Kalpesh Bhai. I had a severe accident. Many of you know that. In 2000, somewhere in the 16 April 12th, I remember the day. Within 2 months, May, we traveled together to Sri Lanka. Kalpesh Bhai joined 1 day later. I reached 1 day before because of some of the arrangement. It is our team who made the Sri Lankan fellowship to work back. It is we who did it. I visited Sri Lanka for 9 times, and 10th time Kalpesh Bhai joined to inaugurate. We relaunched Sri Lanka. It is not the Sri Lanka fellowship I am talking to. When I traveled after a severe accident within 60 days stretch by the plane, that night my head was badly bursting with the pain. I was rolling as a Chief Justice. I think that time you were in Rajasthan. Rajasthan. He was a judge in the Rajasthan High Court, Jodhpur. A judge sitting next to me maybe few years the whole night just to ask, Mecci, are you okay? Mecci, do you think something? Some giving water, that makes me something. I feel it. That makes our rapport in scouting. A scout is a scout who never cares for the status. He always cares for the service and smiles. He is the one true scout. The thing, and when we reached Maldives for another important meeting where we had a dinner, evening tea with the First Lady of the Maldives President House, afternoon once again the attack was on me, my head. And Kalpesh Bhai took every care to see that I rest for the lunch, and he made, means that makes together, inclusion between us. So I never forget some of the support extended by Kalpesh Bhai to me or to many of us. I don't want to narrate the whole stories. I just want to bring you to every one of you a scout who believes in giving. He don't even expect a thanks or a applause when it comes to the scouting. Because we have seen together many jamborees and recently, and now we have one more jamboree coming up in Rajasthan, Pali, where Kalpesh Bhai will be with us and the thing. Kalpesh Bhai, now I'm bit shifting now. I think you had around 52 years of scouting?
62, yeah, 60, 32 plus 22, almost.
52, yes. So my calculation is right. 52 years of scouting. The best moment you cherish. You can't say many. You have to select two, the best moments to cherish.
First is when I become President Scout. Second was when I was elected on a draft lot Executive Council of the State Council. Third, when after my contribution, I was given Silver Elephant Suo Moto. I have not applied, not recommended by the State Council or the State Association. And third, when I have become President of the Indian IGF and the ATAS. And thereafter, I think I'm enjoying the contribution in different way. Many times, in spite of my mother issued, I may not have joined. But whenever it is, I have a chance to join, and if it is previously planned, I've always tried to see that the scouting is given priority even over professional work.
Yeah, thank you. It's quite interesting that you have a few incidences which are to be the best in yours. If you recollect the 52 years, I don't say the worst, I don't say the most critical experience in scouting.
I think I've gained everything from the scouting. I will not remember anything bad.
That's make the scout. A scout smiles under all difficulties and whistles under all circumstances was what Baden Powell said in the fundamental of scouting. Now, Kalpesh Bhai, if you think we can do much more in the coming days, what will be your vision or idea? What we can else do?
First thing which I think we are lacking human touch, irrespective of the country or irrespective of the caste or irrespective of the status in the society. If fundamentally if we are strong on human touch and human relationship, I think many of the problem can go, and that only this activity can do. None else can do it. That's the need of the day.
So inclusion and humanity with the more care touch should be the hallmark of the future scouting, maybe through fellowship or the thing. You have any a simple advice to the Bharat Scouts and Guides?
They should go back to the good time of the Bharat Scout and Guide, and they should analyze that the activities which were carried during the best time of the Bharat Scout and Guide are required to be reinforced with a clear head, without any bias.
Very strong advice in his own words. I don't know how many people will understand Kalpesh Bhai's words, maybe not now. When I narrate this presentation, I try to bring this what Kalpesh Bhai's vision for the Bharat Scouts and Guides. Kalpesh Bhai, anything you have in your mind as a person, your dream or your vision to fulfill being a scout or being a judge or being just as a Kalpesh Satyendra Jhaveri? Anything?
Nothing. I want only mental peace and cheerful nature, nothing else.
So do you think you have given everything to the society?
I think now time has come that one should look after the personal health, and partially I think what I should have given to the family, now time has come I should give more for the family. Because on some of the issue, I must concede that the family also needs time. I am not saying that I will not give time to the scouting, but I can be at the best think bank, but not the executor. But for a think bank, I am available at any time.
But I stand with optimism. Because Kalpesh Bhai now is having something within internally that he don't want to commit. Or maybe because his family, his grandson has become more important, maybe many things. We need not to talk personal. But Kalpesh Bhai, still one vision is still missing is our International Scout Guide Center, where we have to still progress together.
Sure, that is my one of the, but that is individual, our ambition for the institution. But that for the institution, I am thinking that all over place, we should make an endeavor and should be made, because it's in the center of Delhi and Jaipur, and can be made one of the best international center. Therefore, that will be institutional dream, but not my individual dream.
That makes very clear line of difference. So thank you so much, Kalpesh Bhai. If you have something to say to the members of Indian Scout and Guide Fellowship, my dear friends, I do believe shortly we are going to have one of the International Scout Guide Center, activity center under the banner of Indian Scout Guide Fellowship. After that, we may talk much more with the Kalpesh Bhai and further more dialogues. With this, we just like to conclude. Before that, your message to the present members of the Indian Scout and Guide Fellowship and also the members of the ATAS India.
I think we should do our best for the betterment of the institution without expecting any satisfaction of our personal position anywhere in the ISGF. Institution is more important than the individual position in the institution.
Thank you so much, Kalpesh Bhai.